Hey y'all, it's Lisa Marie here, your Southern and Sassy Wealth Coach. And of course, I'm here for another Friday financial tip where I talk about money mindset and or money management because I believe they go hand in hand. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoyed these tips. And just to give you a little bit about me, my name is Lisa Marie. I am the Sassy Wealth Coach. And my passion is to help women entrepreneurs be able to stand on their own 2 feet and feel empowered by their business money instead of controlled by it. So, without further ado, today I am going to share with you how to avoid 3 common money distractions so you can grow your business as an online entrepreneur. We'll be going over organization, budgeting, and social media. Okay, so first, staying organized. And for those of you, if I look away, it's just so I'm looking at my notes, so I can stay on track and don't get off. Okay, so number one, staying organized. When we keep our workplaces organized, for example, if you work at home and you have a desk and an office like this, or your desk, your papers, your to-do list, when you know where things are, you're able to be more consistent, and you're able to work in a more consistent manner on your business, growing it, and basically spending more time on those money growing activities. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that actually brings in more money. When we're not organized, it causes plain and simple mental chaos. Okay, y'all. Because of that, we're not able to be focused, and we don't get one thing done. And instead, we try to get 12, 15, 20 things done. How many people have been there? I know I have. And at the end of the day, we ultimately get nothing done. When you're checking your list, you're like, well, I touched that, I touched that, I touched that, but I can't actually mark any of it off, right? And so having those things organized and just having, I find having a list, whether it's on the computer or on your phone or just writing it down, I find it better if I write it down. It keeps me on track. It keeps me organized, especially like, right before the day starts, because sometimes things pop up, especially when you have kids. And so I make a list so I can, know, okay, this is what I need to get done first. And that way I can actually work. Does it always work with me getting the tasks done in order? No, but when things are organized, I'm able to actually keep track. And if I need to add, I add. And then I'm able to mark it off. When my area is in full chaos mode and papers are thrown out everywhere, I can't find things, or if I end up spending too long looking for things, right? And I've seen many clients and entrepreneurs do the same thing. Okay, so now that you've learned the benefits of being organized, besides decluttering, y'all, it just makes life better. Let's talk about my favorite word, but the B word that always gets a bad rap. And y'all know what that is. Budget. Okay. First, don't believe budget's a bad word. Okay? Don't believe it's a bad rap. It's not. Budgets, when they're created correctly, will for your needs. And so let me say this again. When budgets are created correctly, specifically for your needs and growth, they're highly effective. I consider a budget a way to help me allocate every single dollar that my business brings in. I tell it where my money should go. Yes, I have the list of my reoccurring expenses, but when I don't allocate, or I can't allocate every single dollar, money ends up going down the drain, plain and simple. It disappears. And at the end of the month or at the end of the year, you're like, okay, my money, I know my business brought this in, but where's my money? Where's it at? I don't know where it went. I don't know how it was spent, and you find yourself broke. Okay? When you're doing that, you're worried, whether you want to admit it or not, subconsciously, consciously, you're worried. And so what happens is you're not able to concentrate on bringing more money in, right? because you can't keep up with where the money was going, what money came in, and you can't pay yourself, whatever, right? Okay, so my second reason why it's so important to budget, and another reason why most people don't, traditional budgeting doesn't work. You're like, wait a minute, Lisa, you just said budget. Bear with me, okay? Traditional budgeting doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is because it doesn't take into account what has to be paid yearly, every other year, those one-off expenses that we all have, or investments that we want to make to grow our business, or the continuing education we want to do, like when we were allowed to travel, the traveling we want to do for business. It doesn't take any of that into consideration. It doesnn't take putting money up for taxes into consideration. It doesn't take into consideration you paying yourself consistently while also making sure your business can run and your business can grow. That's the reason why traditional budgeting doesn't work. I recommend, and what I use myself and what I use with my clients, is what I call an all-inclusive budget, to plan for all of that. Honest to goodness, that's what it does. We have it all on a budget sheet, and it takes into consideration every single thing I just said. And when we do that, we're able to allocate every single penny, every single dollar that comes into the business, and we say, okay, this is where we want it to go. This is how much I want to put to marketing. This is what I want to put to saving for a continuing education that's going to take me out of state. Those kind of things are taken into consideration. I highly, highly recommend it, because along with that, it also has you looking at your cash flow on a consistent basis so that you actually can see how much money is coming in versus what you're wanting to invest, what your expenses are, whether it's yearly, one-off, or monthly, putting up money for taxes, paying yourself. It looks at that amount so that you can see where you're at and where you want to go, and where you need to be. Okay, so it just helps, right? Okay, so what I recommend is you take a look at your finances at least once a week. Spend 15 to 20 minutes looking at them. That way, you know where your business stands financially, where you and your business stand financially, to be honest. And knowing where you and your business stand financially allows you to, ready for it, stay focused on the income producing activities, y'all. Okay? I mean, honest to goodness, you would be amazed with knowing exactly what's going on with your money, knowing where you're putting it, and knowing your cash flow, just knowing all those things, how you're able to stay focused on what you do best, which is helping people, which in return brings you more income, right? So it helps you stay focused on those income producing activities, client growth, personal growth, business growth, you name it, that's what it helps. All right, so what's another huge way that we all fall into, including me, that's a money distraction? You ready for it? With my little southern twang? All right, ready? Mindless social media. And we are all guilty. Think about it. The cell phone is like right there, right? I mean, I'll be honest, I'm lost without mine. It's my business lifeline. It has my calendar attached to it. I would literally be lost without it. But when we are, and I'm not, let me be specific here. What I'm about to talk about, I am not saying that we shouldn't get on social media. Point blank, my business wouldn't be where it's at without social media. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that mindless social media, where when we are mindlessly scrolling on IG, Facebook, I don't know, some people use Twitter, whatever. My two are Instagram and Facebook. But whatever it is, So for example, you go to post something and you end up 2.5 hours later looking up, still haven't posted because you got distracted on something and then you started scrolling. You lose out on money and or relationships that could benefit your business and you to potentially have been brought in from your posts or from your comments. But I think it's important to say there's a difference between us going on and making the post and commenting on other posts than the mindless. What I'm talking about is when we end up there for 2.5 hours, or like Pinterest for 3-4 hours, and we didn't get anything accomplished. We didn't post anything, we didn't comment on anything, we didn't do anything except scroll, and then therefore 2.5 hours is gone, and you, instead of working on something that would have made you money, those 2.5 hours are gone. So what I suggest and what I try to do, first, I turned off Facebook alerts. Seriously, I turned them off. My phone does not ding with Facebook alerts, because if I'm concentrating on working and my phone's constantly dinging, I'm not going to stay focused. Okay. Second, I try to designate specific times to go onto social media to make my posts, whether it's a video, engaging with others' content, or posting, etc. Because we need to do those to grow and to get to know people. That, yes. But I make it a designated time and designated time limit, so that literally to comment on people's stuff and to go into like different groups and make comments and interact, I have it scheduled. If I, and it's like 15-20 minutes every day. But if I don't schedule it and I just go and do it, then literally I'll lose time, and that distracts me from making money. And it does the same thing to you. We don't think about it, but it does the same thing. So my advice is designate some time instead of doing the mindless scrolling. And when do I do the mindless scrolling? Because I still do it. I try to do it right before bedtime. That's kind of what I do for like the 30 minutes I'm laying in bed before I go to sleep. Is I'll do the mindless scrolling, so that, and I look at the stories and all of that, because that way my day's over and it doesn't matter if I spent 30-45 minutes on there. Okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed today's video on how to avoid money distractions to grow your business. We went over staying organized, that B word, which should not be getting a bad rap. It should be getting a good rap because it actually helps you plan, and social media, how important it is, yet we need to make sure we're not doing that mindless social media. Now, I invite you to go to my website and click on the link, or actually click on the link below, and that's in the comments, and check out my free resource, 6 Steps to Sassy and Sexy Biz Numbers, because I do believe that sassy and sexy numbers do exist, and they don't have to be in chaos. So click on the link below and check out that free resource. And thank you again for watching. And remember, until next time, yes, sassy and sexy numbers are possible. Talk to you later. Bye.